this very special video live on the Tribune's YouTube channel. I'm Jyoti Malhotra from the Tribune here at the Tribune office in Chandigarh, and I'm live with Adil Akhzar, the Tribune's correspondent in Srinagar in Jammu and Kashmir. And today we are discussing the unprecedented result of the election in Jammu and Kashmir. The results are not formally out. Trends are that the National Conference Congress coalition is winning the state of Jammu and Kashmir. Let me correct that, amended right away. It's not a state. It's still a union territory of Jammu and Kashmir, but the National Conference Congress coalition is ahead with about 50 seats out of 90 seats. The BJP has also done well, especially in the Jammu region, getting about 27 seats or so, and there are a couple of there are 9 others, within quotes, 9 others. So, Adil, let me come to you right away. First of all, thank you for joining me. You are in Srinagar, in your home. You've been covering the elections for the Tribune these last several weeks. What are your first thoughts about these results? Why has the National Conference and the Congress Party done so well? The PDP, which got 20 seats, like you said, in the Kashmir Valley in the 2014 elections, and we know that this election, it's taken 10 long years for another election to be held in Kashmir. Yeah.
Voted to keep BJP out, but then they allied with them. So people still remember that. And then if we see 2016 agitation, when you have a lot of casualties in South Kashmir, civilian casualties, people still remember that. And if we come to 2019, the PDP is completely in, like it saw a vertical split, and there are no leaders, a lot of leaders left, and they joined Apni party, which was formed after abrogation of Article 370. So this time they are like, since PDP, people have not voted for PDP, so that is the reason, we saw one party, people gave mandate to single party. That is the reason.
So this time around, the first election that has been held not just after 10 years, but also the first election after the abrogation of Article 370 5 years ago in August of 2019, and the first election after the Balakot strikes, the people have clearly come out and voted in favor of the National Conference Congress coalition. What is the message, do you think? And along with that, Adil, I'd like to ask you, Engineer Rashid, who was given bail during this, for this election, to campaign during this election. He was not allowed to campaign for his own election, which he won from Baramulla in a couple of months ago when the Lok Sabha elections were held. First of all, why was he given bail? What are the people saying? And why is it that his party has, or the candidates supported by his party, do not seem to have done well? Also, what about the candidates that were supported by the Jamaat-e-Islami?
So if we first talk about Engineer Rashid, so Engineer Rashid, he was granted bail, interim bail, especially for campaigning. So which we didn't see in Lok Sabha when he won with a huge mandate, defeating Omar Abdullah and Sajjad Loon. This time he was just before a few days of first phase of voting. He came and out and started campaigning. So people obviously then most of the political parties they accused Engineer Rashid of being a BJP proxy, and also people questioned why he was given bail this time just before the election. That was a conversation going on the ground. So this time, that's the reason why we are seeing only one seat, his stronghold Langate, where his brother is contesting. He is winning. He's just leading that. So even people also questioned a lot of things, like if he was against the dynast rule and all, but he gave the mandate to his brother, and then all of those things happened, and people were not. They did not. Give votes to his candidates who were on the ground. In across Kashmir Valley. So, and then if we see Jamaat candidates, so Jamaat obviously they fielded 10 candidates in Kashmir this time. So the question is, it was not a fully Jamaat, there is still a divide within the Jamaat whether we should have contested the elections or not. So only the major seat where they were getting good response was Kulgam seat, where he was where their candidate Sayar Rishi, he was up against a CPM veteran. So this time he is not doing well because people also on the ground there, it was, other than National Conference, it's the cadre based party earlier it used to be. So now people are not on the ground. They still don't they are divided whether they should have contested elections or not, and that's the reason they have not performed well.
But let me ask you about Sayar Rishi, the independent candidate supported by the Jamaat-e-Islami in Kulgam constituency. This is one of the places that I visited a few weeks ago in the middle of September, Adil, and I met Sayar Rishi, I interviewed him, and in fact he was taking out a big rally through the apple orchards of Kulgam. It was a very beautiful sight, and Kashmir is a very, very beautiful part of the country. But Saya Rishi, in his rally, in fact, it was a long procession. There were hundreds of cars, at least 200 to 250 cars. The people that were coming out in his favor, and I remember his election symbol is the laptop. Now, are you saying that people did not come out and vote for him? That they voted for Yusuf Tarigami of the CPM? What happened?
No, you have to see also the CPM veteran. I mean, he's one of the only seats in Kashmir we have. He has legislated several times in Kulgam, Muhammad Tarigami. He is a very old hand. Still, if you are talking about why Sayar, she did not perform, but he is the runner-up right now. I mean, he has been able to get votes. We are not denying that, but if we see, it is a large constituency. It has a lot of votes, and people this time. I mean, he was during his campaigning, CPIM veteran. He was talking about against Sayar Rishi that she asking people not to vote again, for him because they have changed sides and now they are being backed by some. I mean, apparently hinting towards BJP. They are. The BJP proxies and all. So obviously people understood, and I mean, since we have seen in Kashmir now, people have given a single mandate to a single party. So that in Kulgam that well has happened because he was an alliance candidate. There was no national conference candidate in Kulgam, so all the votes went to him, to Mr. Tarigami. So that is the reason.
But tell me now, similarly. Omar Abdullah, the Vice President of the National Conference, who I also interviewed in Srinagar in the middle of September when I had gone. Now, Omar fought from two constituencies, from Gandarbal as well as from Budgam. He lost the Baramulla Lok Sabha elections to engineer Rashid. What happened this time? Why have the voters come out and voted for him both in Gandarbal and Budgam? And why is it that he's winning this time when he lost Baramulla during the Lok Sabha election?
So see, this last time it was Engineer Rashid was in jail, and so he got a lot of sympathy votes. His sons, they came out and campaigned for their father who was in jail then time, Engineer Rashid. So even it surprised everybody then. I mean, nobody was expecting that Rashid he will get such number of huge votes. But this time what happened, since it's a local elections, the issues are different, and he contested from two seats. By the way, Umar, he has just won. He's from Budgam seat. He is on way to collect his certificate. So this time you have, people in Budgam, and party has a very strong support base, in particular in Budgam district. And then if you move to Gandarbal, it's also their family stronghold. So this time people voted for them because they have already a strong base there in these two districts. So
what is the message from Jammu? I will ask Arjun Sharma from Jammu about what's happened there. Why did the BJP do so well? So can you explain to me, Adil, what happened in Jammu?
In Jammu, see, BJP has performed very well even as compared to 2014 when they got 24 seats. This time they are leading on 29 seats. So they have been able to consolidate their vote bank, even performed well.
Ask you about Jammu. What happened in Jammu? The BJP seems to have done very well in Jammu. About 27 seats, although like I said, the results are not fully and firmly out, but they are ahead in 27 seats. How would you explain that?
So see, in Jammu region, BJP they did a very aggressive campaigning in Jammu region. We saw Prime Minister also coming. All BJP leadership, they came to Jammu and aggressively campaigned during the elections. On the other hand, we saw Congress didn't, they were not actively, even for Omar Abdullah also criticized the Congress party for not being so active in, Jammu region. So this time, obviously, BJP has, consolidated their vote bank. That's the reason, in 2014, the seats were 24, and this time, as of date, what the trend suggests, it is more than, they're 29 seats they are winning. So if we see, overall, Jammu has entirely voted for BJP, as compared to Kashmir, where they were actually banking on smaller parties and smaller parties are independent candidates. So in Jammu, in Kashmir, entirely it has gone vote has gone to a national conference.
What about the
Gurez
Gurez
assembly, please.
assembly?
There was a lot of talk that the BJP might win Gurez.
Gurez is so it has won by national conference. I mean, the former legislator he has won. But it was a very close contest. The BJP candidate he lost by 1,000 votes. And BJP was banking on this seat because even Rajnath Singh came there and he addressed a rally. So he then said we are very hopeful that we will win this seat. The candidate there, Fakir Ahmed Khan. So he had been in several parties, but this time he was contesting on a BJP ticket. But then the candidate from National Conference is also a very senior leader. I mean this time, so he just won with just 1,000 votes.
So, overall, what do you feel is the message that the people of Kashmir are giving? The PDP has done very badly. The National Conference coalition with the Congress party has done well, and the BJP has been limited to Jammu. What is the overall message, Adil?
So overall message, I would say that people they have voted for single party from Kashmir. They want, we have seen Omar Abdullah and all the party leadership saying like, what happened post 19 and all like whatever is happening on ground. There is no elected government. So during their campaigning, they have been on and on saying, you give mandate to one party that then only we can, do some work. If you give a fractured mandate, it won't be possible for that's what BJP was banking. If PDP gets or if there's a divide in Kashmir seats, then it could have been easily for them as well. So during the entire campaign, NC was continuously saying give a single mandate, make one party, vote to entire one party, which actually has transformed on the ground. And people this time they have given a single message that okay, we are giving part to one party only, and at the cost of PDP, because PDP has done it is the worst ever performance so far. I mean, just 3 seats they are right now leading. So that is the reason PDP's worst performance, which actually gained national conference, gained to national conference.
So it was the alliance with the BJP, between the PDP and the BJP, that damaged the PDP, do you think?
Yeah, that was the major factor. If one of the major factors, because even I remember in South Kashmir across, if you, I spoke to people, so people still remember, like, in 2014 we gave mostly all seats to PDP, but then they allied with BJP. So, but because during the campaigning in 2014, it was PDP which was saying, give us vote to keep BJP out, but then they allied with them. So people still remember that. And also another factor post 2019, it saw a vertical split. The PDP, lot of dozens of leaders, I mean, they left the party and switched it to Apni party and all. So that was the reason.
So last question to you, Adil. Right now, this is the union territory that has voted. The people in the union territory have voted. Now, what is the expectation that this could be that Jammu and Kashmir will recover its statehood?
So see, I mean, it will take time. If you talk to people on ground, they still, I mean, they are not hopeful because it is not the same assembly which was there in 2014. It has very less powers, but still people want here. They want to have their own voice. Some candidate, their own candidates who can go and talk about their problem. Because right now it's completely bureaucratic rule. I mean, even many leaders say that nobody is listening to people. So for them, people, yes, there will be a relief. But if you see overall major issues, it is still, it will take time for the elected government to but there will be challenge. It's there are so many things which right now is still with the LG, and actual elected government won't have it. So it will take time, but yes, now the next people will be expecting to give we should get the statehood back as soon as possible.
So right now, the Lieutenant Governor Manoj Sinha, he still has a lot of powers despite the fact that there will be an elected assembly soon. Is that correct?
Yes, exactly. So the Home Department, Law and Order at Police, it is still with LG, and all the bureaucracy, top all India services, like all IS officer, all IPS officers, they will be directly under, LG. So for elected government, so he won't have any control. If, for example, if tomorrow you have to transfer a deputy commissioner, that won't be possible if elected government wants. So that will be directly with LG. So most of the powers rest with LG, be it finance, big laws, and all those things will be.
What about police?
What about police powers, Adit?
Police will be with LG directly. It is because few days back, even LG Manoj Sinha, he said, like, there will be not, I'm giving free hand to security forces, there won't be any change. So because since it will be directly under control of LG.
So if police is with LG, personnel, that is the control over the civilian bureaucracy, that is with the LG. What about land? Powers over land, over change of land use or other usage of land. What about that?
What about that?
Again, you have to, if there is a major decision regarding land transfer, or you have to get concurrence from LG. If there's a major policy issues, so LG has to take a call, because again, this you have seen all the top leadership in Kashmir mainstream political party, they have been saying this statutless assembly, but still, we will go to the assembly and we'll fight for the people. So all those things, but yes, it will take time. Before getting a statehood, we can't expect that powers which we had in 2014 last assembly. This time we will have less powers.
Home Minister Amit Shah, a very fine strategist of the BJP, came to Jammu and Kashmir, and also held several rallies. And the senior BJP RSS leader Ram Madhav, he holds a very important position in the BJP and in Jammu and Kashmir. So why was the BJP not able to open its account in the Kashmir Valley?
See, if we see from day one, BJP was not that much actively focusing on Kashmir as compared to Jammu. So they knew that in Kashmir it's very difficult to make their vote, because they have no vote base right now in Kashmir region. So they were actually banking on smaller parties. They were banking on independents, like we in the past, even apni parties now with zero they have not won any seat even. So they were completely banking on smaller parties and candidates, but that didn't happen. They were just focusing, if we get a good number of seats, maybe 30 or 35 seats in Jammu region, they would be able to form government if the smaller parties win in Kashmir. So their entire focus was in Kashmir, in Jammu, as compared to Kashmir region, because right now there is no voter base of BJP in Kashmir, and even they only officially they only very few candidates contested from Kashmir region on BJP ticket, and still they are nowhere in the scene.
So if they are nowhere in the scene, my other question.
Now let me flip the question. The Congress party did very badly in the Jammu region. We are trying to patch you with Arjun Sharma, dear viewer. I want you to have a little bit of patience. We're trying to patch you with Arjun Sharma, who is the Tribune's correspondent in Jammu. We're not able to get the line through. So do try and hold on for a few seconds or so. But until then, Adil, can you explain why the Congress party did so badly in the Jammu region?
So mainly the focus, I would say the main reason was not aggressive campaigning as compared to BJP. So their leaders, we saw one of their candidates, even that day Omar Abdullah said, when Rahul Gandhi came to Kashmir, he said, we don't need, their hard time here in coming to come from Delhi and campaign for their candidate here. We are winning in Kashmir. You should go and focus to completely to Jammu region, because we want their good performance in Jammu region. Even another factor was they also their strategy from day one was they could better tell what was the reason why they were so late. Even their leadership, they came very late for campaign. Their even party manifesto, which BJP released days back earlier, before Congress. Congress leadership released a manifesto very late. So all these reasons, mostly they could not do a very good campaign, and their leadership included Rahul Gandhi. They should have focused more towards Jammu as compared to Kashmir. That is the reason they did not perform very well in Jammu region today.
What about the BJP itself? Was it a house divided in the Jammu region?
Yeah, it was. I mean, a lot of people were, a lot of their candidates, they were, I mean, earlier legislators, they were not happy initially, but still, BJP, post 2019, if we see in Jammu region, people, all these years, people are still complaining that there is no elected voice and all. They were against BJP, but still, their all top leadership came and, I mean, did aggressive campaigning in entire Jammu. And if we see, like, once result, I mean, elections were announced for Jammu and Kashmir, not there was not much ground for I mean for the BJP party, but their leaders continuously focused. Prime Minister held several rallies. All leadership came and they built that ground. I mean again, and the reason is today we are seeing a very good performance.
So tell me about the
Chenab region, Adil, there has been a delimitation of constituencies in Jammu and Kashmir, as we know, some months ago, when the number of seats in the Jammu region were added. They are now 43 in the Jammu region, while in the valley you have 47 seats, a total of 90 seats in the assembly. But the Chenab is a very special region, isn't it? Why is it so different? So, why is it so different, Adil, from the Kashmir Valley and from Jammu?
So see today there's a very interesting thing that National Conference has got seats in even for first is that Apni Party has one only single seat in Doda, which comes in Chenab. So they have one seat in Doda region, their only single seat, Apni Party. I think so. And then if we go to Kishtwar and Ramban, they have a very good Muslim population areas. So NC has been able to get seats there as well. So this time it was actually NC tried very hard. I mean they there I mean in the Chenab and Pir Punjab, they made very like they have now made inroads. Now they also focus their campaigning there, and now we are seeing they are getting. I mean they have won several seats as well.
So it's
Interesting that the NC or the National Conference has one in seats in the Chenab region. Does anybody remember Ghulam Nabi Azad Adil, the former Congress leader who started his own party? He's from the Chenab area. Does anyone remember him? Does anyone care? Did anybody vote for his party?
They have not won any seat, but yes, they have been able to divide votes. If we see some areas, for example, in Jammu regions, Inderwal area, I mean, they have got a very huge votes, but it has actually benefited BJP, which NC and Congress has been saying all along, like they are its proxy of BJP, and they will, if they are fielding their candidates, it will help BJP, which has actually happened on the ground. So, but overall, if we see, they have terribly done. I mean, very bad in across Jammu and Kashmir. There is no seat for them. I mean, DPAP, because a lot of people also left after in the recent past from the DPAP, and today we are seeing not a single seat winning.
So Adil, last
I want to ask you about the Kashmiri Pandits. So when I was in Jammu about a month or so ago in the middle of September, and I went to meet some of the Kashmiri Pandit families who live on the outskirts of Jammu. It's a very large camp, and I think 4,000 or 5,000 people continue to live there. Now, these are people who escaped from the Kashmir Valley in the late 80s, early 90s, what is known as an exodus of the Kashmiri Pandits, widely known as that. An ethnic cleansing of sorts happened when the terrorism problem began in the Kashmir Valley. Now, what is going on with them? Because what they told me was that they still vote in their constituency in the Kashmir Valley, where their homes were originally, but they live in Jammu or they live outside the Kashmir Valley. They're beginning to go back to the villages that they left behind 30, 35, years ago. However, they haven't decided to move back permanently. What is the reason? Are they still afraid of returning to the valley?
I mean, despite all the political parties, I mean, here in Kashmir, they have been again and again saying they should come back. But in the recent past, we have seen like attacks on Kashmiri. I mean, Kashmiri Pandits. Like we have, so they're not that environment is not as per the Kashmiri Pandit representatives. I mean, they say that environment is not conducive that we come back here, and because also now everybody's settled. Everybody's settled different parts of country, so
they have homes
and they have families. The families have grown up. they have houses, businesses. Yeah.
But the good thing is now, this time after abrogation of Article 370, for the first time we saw a large number of Kashmiri Pandit candidates contesting the elections. So, which we never had seen, like, such type of people, a large number of candidates, even though nobody has performed well. But, for example, in Habakadal constituency, which has a very more than 20,000 Kashmiri Pandit votes. So this time, it is like, the constituency, interestingly, it has very lowest polling. So there, the Kashmiri Pandit candidates has secured some 3,000 votes. But still, if we say they have this time contested, but they could not win any seat in Kashmir region. As regarding why they are not coming back, the main reason is that they say until and unless there's a good environment for them in Kashmir, security environment, then only they can plan to come back.
That's really interesting that Habba Kadal in Srinagar city actually had a Kashmiri Pandit candidate. Is that correct?
But it is not the first time. It has been in the past as well. This since it has a very good voter base of Kashmiri Pandits, people have been contesting from this particular seat, Kashmiri Pandits. But if we move this time, what interesting thing was, across districts we saw Kashmiri Pandits contesting from all seats. From South Kashmir, Pulwama, for example. I wrote about that one woman candidate. She working since last 2-3 years in that Pulwama district, and she contested. This time she didn't win, but she was very actively involved in this. So all those things, there are good things as well. This election saw Kashmiri Pandits. There are a lot of people from Kashmiri Pandit community, they contested elections.
So speaking of Adil, the PDP candidate from Pulwama, Bahid Para, a very brave young man, very courageous, very young, is in his 30s. I remember, after Article 370 was abrogated in August 2019, he was among the first who was thrown into a security, into prison, if you like, and he was not just put under house arrest, because house arrest would mean, which is what happened to leaders like Farooq Abdullah and Omar Abdullah, because these people were confined in their own homes. But Bahid Para was thrown into into like not a prison or a jail, but it was, I think, a makeshift prison that was set up for a lot of people. Now, he went through hell because there were a lot of problems that he suffered. It was quite bad. There were a lot of stories about that situation. But he has emerged from that 5 years later, and he fought an election and he has won. What do you make of his story, Adil?
So he has a very, old, if you talk about his connection with people, it is very much good. He has his own people, crowd liking towards him. If you go to his constituency, I also covered some of his rallies. He has people like him. Not as that he's a PDP candidate, but as an individual. He has a very good
as a person.
Yes. As a person. So, before that, before this elections, even he fought very well. In the Lok Sabha elections as well. He got a very huge vote, and he was the second after Aga Ruhullah. So this time, obviously, he won. And he is one of the few candidates from PDP who has actually got this. Who have won from this in these elections. If we overall see, is a very good leader for. Is a very for party. He's one among the very few people who have stayed actually with party after 2019. What we saw, a lot of leaders left from PDP, but he was among those. Even he was in jail, but after he came out, he didn't switch sides. So that is the reason I think he won today, because it was his personal rapport with people. He got the seat.
What about Mehbooba Mufti, the leader of the PDP? Why is it that she did not fight, but her daughter Iltija, she fought the election? Why did Mehbooba not fight?
So if we see before elections were announced, both of Omar Abdullah and Mehbooba Mufti had said until the state was restored, we won't contest the elections. But later on, Omar Abdullah said that because I have a lot of pressure from the party workers, so I have to win. I mean, I have to contest elections. So Mahbub Mufti just like did not. I mean, he chose. I mean, he stayed with that thing. You know, she's not. Which she had said before that she's not contesting the elections, and she didn't. But yes, as per PDP, there was a pressure from within the party, like we should, because Iltija is a very prominent face of the party now. I mean, she has been able to gather crowds at a time when PDP is facing a lot of internal problems. They are facing a crisis, but Iltija during the campaign in Lok Sabha for her mother, she became a very prominent face for the party. So within party there was a lot of suggestion like she should contest election, and she contested, and she actually she gave a very tough fight to the and national conference candidate in the constituency.
Right.
So absolutely the last question, Adil. I know I've been asking you many last questions, but this is really the last one. The message from Jammu and Kashmir, 5 years after the abrogation of 370, the people of Jammu and Kashmir have come out and voted with both their hands, with both their feet. They want an assembly to represent them. They want MLAs to represent them. But what does this mean, really?
So this means, see, if we see this mandate, so this is against the BJP. I mean, we have seen like despite all these years, we have from central government saying like this time we will form the government in Jammu and Kashmir. People will give us a chance, and they talked about what they called is dynasty politics and all. Despite raising all the issues you have in Kashmir today, completely going one-sided. I mean, national conference people voted for all in most of the seats for national conference. So the message overall is that it is. I think against BJP. This time people have voted because they don't want anything related to BJP in Kashmir. For example, this can also be we saw Apni party, all those who had said we are BJP, associated with BJP. They are nowhere in the ground. So this time BJP people in Kashmir, they have given a single they have given mandate to a single party so that their voices can be heard in the assembly.
I'm afraid we'll have to leave it there, but I'd like to thank you, Adil. Thank you so much for joining me. The line has dropped a couple of times, but you've held on very bravely. Thank you for your analysis, for your reportage, for your stories from the ground, for the Tribune from the Kashmir Valley. Thank you so much, Adil. And I'm Jyoti Malhotra from the Tribune right here in Chandigarh. Please do continue to read us, listen to us, hear us. Our website is on almost 24/7. You have the newspaper, the Tribune, the Punjabi Tribune, the Dainik Tribune, and you have grown up reading us. I hope you will continue to invest your faith as well as your time to now read us also on the website and to hear us on Spotify, to watch our videos and our YouTube channel. So everywhere you see the Tribune is all around you, and I do hope you will write in, tell us what you think of us and how we can make it better. Thank you so much for watching this very special broadcast on the Jammu and Kashmir elections. This is Jyoti Malhotra signing off now from the Tribune office in Chandigarh. Thank you for watching.